Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto, sending all of you love and high vibrations. I hope all my wolves out there bought that dip yesterday. Of course, retail weak lettuce hands really dropped the ball this weekend, handing over their bags directly to the whales like they always do. And of course, the moment CME opened up last night, the prices started going green instantly. So today we're going to go over the Bitcoin and XRP charts to see what's in store for us this week and the possible scenarios to look out for, especially with the upcoming lunar eclipse on May 26th and the 333rd day since Elon Musk's birthday, which is the day after on May 27th. So we'll be covering that in today's video. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with the esoteric science of Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. If you haven't already subscribed and you like what we're doing here, feel free to subscribe, give this video a like, and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. I also wanted to let everyone know that I'm running an end of the month sale for the lifetime access to my mastermind course. You can join by contacting me. My email is in the description box below. The Mastermind course currently has over 100 video lessons from beginner level, setting up the charts, into intermediate technical analysis, all the way up to advanced level with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology applications. It's all covered in the Mastermind course, and these market conditions that we're seeing right now, this is really the best time to get educated on this market while the prices are down and we're in this reaccumulation phase of the bull run. Again, I do not think that this bull run is over, but I do think that this will be a prolonged period to see prices become boring, perhaps lose some of their volatility, and it'll be like a big market reset before the next leg up. And this is a really good time to get educated. So you'll be able to learn the proper way to develop your investment thesis and how to do technical analysis of the projects you're interested in so you can make educated decisions with your investments so you're not gambling away your hard-earned money. So if you'd like to take advantage of that, my sale on the Mastermind course, there's a new promo code in the pinned comment below, which will be active until the end of this month. And with that being said, let's take the red pill. So we're going to be talking a little bit about this figure for a moment, and this guy. So I don't have any really nice things to say about this guy, but I do believe, out of speculation, a little prediction that I have, on May 27th, I believe that this guy will come out of the woodwork and have something to say which will sway the markets. The reason being is because his birth date, June 28th, to the date 5/27 is exactly 333 days, and this is going to be something like kind of a shot in the dark here, but on the 33rd week since, the 33rd week since Hebrew New Year, on the third day, we saw this market pump and basically fall apart. And that was a big sign that the number 33 will play a big role in all of this, as it plays a big role in everything. Again, 33rd, like the 33rd degree Mason. And anyways, so this 333 number significance, I believe, will be tied to Elon Musk on his 49th birthday, transitioning into his 50th birthday. And this 50, using the rules of numerology, gets reduced down to 5. And the 5 number always makes me think of Shiva from Hinduism. Shiva is associated with the number 5. So Shiva is the creator, the destroyer. Okay? Creator and destroyer, and we're coming to this number 57 and also the 223. It's really interesting, but this 57 number comes back to our good old friends, Society of Jesus, with the 57, which Elon Musk is a part of course, and that 57 also shows up in his company, Tesla, with the 57, also that 33, like I was explaining earlier. So this creator-destroyer also being the 223 right here, which is reverse for the Skull and Bones logo, of course. His family is friends with these guys. And this also reminds me a lot of Shiva and how this statue is outside of CERN. So CERN being in Switzerland, and CERN having that 23 connection to Shiva with the 23. Also, CERN having that a lot of numbers here that we could talk about, but that 15 in Chaldean is something that we were seeing, of course, in XRP. It's really interesting how these numbers are all tying together, you know, with skull and bones. We get that 76, right, which comes back to Shiva with the 76. 76 again, like Ripple 76, and the 40, like CERN 40. So all these numbers are amazing and how they all correlate together in the top cryptos especially, but I believe that this is a sign, and this day after the lunar eclipse being the 27th of May, could also write out the date as May 27th, 2021. Sorry about that. And we're getting that 56 when you type out the date, and of course that comes back to our friends, the Society of Jesus, with that 56. This is all tied together, right? So you have CERN with the 40, of course, that comes back to our good old friends that we were talking about earlier, the Freemasons with the 40, the 33rd degree, that 3-3 number, or the 333, and the significance behind it. Of course, 333 times 2 is 666. Pretty obvious stuff. So I'm just expecting this guy, Elon, of course, with the 19, and when you write the date 5/27/2021, you get the 19. I'm expecting Elon to come out on that date and say something. And it'll probably be something that is of course it's pre-calculated. The market goes in advance. Like, you know, these guys set up every move they're going to make with algorithms, with AI technology, which I've had an insider tell me is all ran through CERN, by the way. So if anyone doesn't know about CERN, please educate yourself. They literally have a dancing Shiva outside of their building, and Shiva is the creator and the destroyer of worlds. This looking very much like a portal. It's interesting stuff how ritual these top level elites are at the United Nations, World Economic Forum, etc. So another thing I was thinking about is how this date of the 27th of May is also going to be a Thursday, and that Thursday is Jupiter. It's the day of Jupiter, and Jupiter has that 27 in it, like the date of May 27th. So it's another thing to keep your eyes on because Jupiter controls the financial sector, and that's something else that we could discuss in later videos, but just to get this video going, you can see there's going to be some significance around the lunar eclipse transitioning into the 27th of May. And again, I was telling everyone for the last couple weeks that I believe there will be a lot of chaos in this market between the lunar and solar eclipse, and the solar eclipse will be on June 10th. So let's just get into the video, right? So first things first, we're seeing across the board green. Yesterday we saw a bunch of red, and that was because retail was selling their bags. I was really active in our Discord yesterday for the Patreon supporters of the Mastermind community, and I was letting them all know I would not be surprised if we wake up on Monday and every single crypto is up 20%. I'm really surprised to see XRP being so chill today after such a massive sell-off. But again, I was telling everyone about XRP being held mostly by retail. People don't like to hear that though. Anyways, we have a lot of scenarios here, and I have this chart. It looks a little bit complicated, but I could explain it for everyone, give you kind of a rundown of what I see going on here, because we have a lot of scenarios to consider, and everyone wants to know what's happening next. You know, what's the next thing to happen in these markets. And I don't blame you, you know, because this was a hell of a sell-off that we got recently. It was almost like probably the most historic mid-bull run dip, being a massive, let's see, from top to bottom on Bitcoin, 54%. And, you know, you could look at some of the altcoins, 80% down. Pretty wild to see. Like a project like VeChain being down 81% from swing high to swing low. It's one of the best projects out there. So anyways, also there's like a baby crying outside. It's like the worst sound ever. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys are getting that. Anyways, so we have a couple scenarios, right? This fractal right here is a bars pattern that I pulled from the COVID crash back here. I shouldn't say that, the C word crash from back in March. And the fractal plays out all the way up until right here. And this is a pretty solid amount of time because it brings us into October. And again, most people in this space feel that if we have a distributional moment, which is a prolonged bear phase, perhaps still into the fall time, we will recover and be right on track. Across the board, a lot of people who are very skilled analysts all feel that way. And I'm ultra contrarian in this space, so whenever you hear me saying what I'm saying, it's because it's coming from a more let's just say enlightened perspective. You know, a lot of the YouTubers out there, although they might be a little more conscious, they don't show it. And I give you guys my raw feelings about how things are going from a spiritual perspective, not just from a technical perspective. I was telling a lot of people last month that I have a lot of feelings about June, and it's not surprising to me that we got this big sell-off leading into June, and that was before I really even started investigating the eclipses. So it's really interesting how that was a gut intuitive feeling. And anyways, so first scenario would be this COVID crash, which had a V-shaped recovery. It had a consolidation. It had a phase that looked very boring. You know, it was probably like a total of a couple hundred days. So yeah, we're looking at about 170 days of pretty much sideways action before a parabolic run-up. And this, if you were to copy this whole fractal, would end sometime in February or March. That's possible. We could totally do that if you grab the bars pattern from right here on the sell-off date all the way up to this move to the top. And then you take that and you lay that over right here, kind of zoom out a little bit, scroll down, and you'll see this puts us at a crazy $320,000 Bitcoin by March 2022. I think that's possible in the event that we do have an extended cycle. A lot of people believe that we're having an extended cycle, and that wouldn't be far-fetched considering that as a asset matures and gets more in line with stock to flow model, it typically performs as such. So the long and short of it is this the end of the bull run? I don't know yet. A lot of us need to understand that you need to have a lot of signs to know that it's the end of a bull run. It's a pure blown distribution. So let's look at blow off tops from the past and see something that is interesting, right? So we have here the previous bull run and how it ended, okay? So we pulled a fib from the all-time high, around the all-time high, down to this swing low, which was actually not even that big of a sell-off. If you measure the move from the top of the all-time high in 2017 down to this wick right here, it was only 44%. We've pulled back 54% in this recent sell-off. So if you look at how this structure works, pulling a fib from swing high to swing low, we came up into the golden pocket, got rejected on the 618. This is typical. Now, then we came back up and then got rejected inside of the golden pocket. So we have a scenario right here where there's a rejection inside of the golden pocket, and that proves to be distribution. But this looks like a blow off top. This over here, like if you see how the way this looks when I hide everything, that looks like a blow off. But now if you see the way it looks right here, this doesn't look like a blow off top. This looks like a crown top, very similar to right here. So what we're seeing here is a completely different structure, okay? And also what that's telling me is if I pull a fib from swing high to swing low, what this shows me is we should at least get back to the 50,000 range, lowest 51,000, before we confirm that this bull run is over. So I was telling everyone in the Red Pill episode Patreon that we can probably come up to this 50,000 area and then get rejected and see a lower low and then enter a distributionary phase and still kind of be in track for a bull run. It would just be something like this, where like we pop up, get rejected, and then come down and form a much longer accumulation range in like the 20,000s. And of course, when this moment happens, it's game over for the altcoins. Like the altcoins are gonna take a shit. So again, if you're an altcoin holder, the best thing to do is when we run up like this, you would want to consider taking partial I won't even say it because no one wants to hear it. But the point being is that Bitcoin is the safest place to be during a distributionary phase. If you don't agree with me, it's because you're emotional and you don't know how to read data. Anyone who knows how to read data knows that whenever you enter distribution, you want to be in Bitcoin. And that's why every single time there's a sell off in Bitcoin, it's exponentially higher in the altcoins. It doesn't matter how good the use case is on your alt that you like, it doesn't matter, okay? It'll still sell off more, proven. So people need to understand that. If you want to be safe in this market during a distributionary phase, you want to tether out or you want to get Satoshis, one or the other to be safe. Um, and that's not financial advice. I really don't care what you do. But with that being said, the most likely scenario is also something that occurred back in this time frame of 2013. A lot of people have heard me bring this up. So if you look at the way this worked, this was the blow off of 2013, but I'm more interested in this moment back here. So you see this characteristic is actually a lot more similar to what we're seeing today. This was a little bit more dramatic. The sell-off was around 80%. Of course, we've only seen 60%, but this was the immediate selling climax, and then we had this automatic rally. So this was dramatic. This was a really dramatic move. This was before institutions were in. This was like New World Order only and retail. That's what this move was. So with that being said, this move to the upside, it didn't quite make it back to the 618, and that was interesting because then we still had this prolonged like cup and handle thing going on before another blow off top. So it was like a bull run within a bull run, if that makes sense. This though is a blow off top. This is a blow off top. What we're seeing today though is not a blow off top. It's literally over 100 days of trading in this 40 to 60,000, you know, sorry. We're sitting at 140 plus days of trading at these levels that are double the price of the previous blow off top. Like, you know what I'm saying here? So it's different. It's totally different, this distribution that we're seeing. So I don't want to make this run on forever, but you see the end of this bull run right here, pull swing high to swing low on the fibs. We came back into the golden pocket, got rejected, just like the 2017 bull run, and then we entered distribution. And that was a prolonged bear market. So what I'm looking for is a pullback into at least the 0.5 fib. This is historic, 0.5 fib, and then the 0.72 maximum. If we break and create a higher high at 59,000, that'll be exactly like the COVID recovery. And then this would be basically like game on, we're back on the bull run. I don't see that happening though. That would be a really big liquidity injection. And I don't know if we're there right now with the Fed backing off on, stimulating the economy. So my opinion on how this is going to go is I see a relief rally. It's still in play. The last COVID crash had a relief rally about 7 days after, which is exactly on the lunar eclipse. And it took about 50 days to be seeing a new high, 48 days to be seeing a new high. So we still have this like 1 month, the whole month of June to kind of just chill and see how this plays out. I would not expect anything drastic between now and June, besides perhaps what occurs on the eclipse dates. But with that being said, let's move into XRP because there is some things we have to go over. So we have this green chart, of course. We're in logarithmic scale, by the way. We have this red box territory that we mapped out probably sometime in mid-April, and it was going from May 3rd all the way to May 23rd, and this was our, we used Gematria and numerology basically to figure out this box range of when we would anticipate a big move, and we got it right in the event that there was a big move out of the box territory, but where we got it wrong was the bullish momentum. The reason we were assuming bullish momentum was because of the lack of liquidity in XRP comparatively to all the other altcoins. So what I'm trying to say here is it's undervalued. And And now, one thing that we could go over though is the technicals. Remember, I said back here, this is called the buying climax. Then you have the selling climax. Then you have the automatic rally. After failing the golden pocket 1, 2, 3 times, this is not weird to see what's called a spring using Wyckoff. And this spring was a lot more dramatic than I think people wanted. But remember what I was saying back here on the 19th when we had this huge sell off. I said that if we can't recapture this 236, which look at that, perfectly rejected. If we can't recapture this 236 and we start trading below $1 on a daily closure, we will go much further down. And I said that because retail is holding this market for XRP. And people got really mad at that. But you need to understand, like, the red pill is hard to swallow. I'm not attacking your god here. It's just a fucking crypto. Okay? Don't worship these coins. If someone's here trying to help you to be able to detach emotionally from a project, you should probably like take that into consideration, you know? So buying this dip was a pretty amazing opportunity. But again, like this structure we were seeing here was perfect technicals for a Wyckoff, hopefully a Wyckoff recumulation, but you never know how this can go. Institutions need to step into this token for this to start becoming a much more mature asset and lose this insane volatility where retail keeps saying diamond hands, yeah, diamond hands, and then they fucking sell. You can't deny it. Yesterday proved 100% what I was saying. Okay? Volume was low yesterday, and we saw a price of 65 cents on a weekend. Who's selling that? Retail. So the good thing is, every time we have one of these dramatic sell offs and then quick buybacks, we shake out the weakest hands, and those people need to go. Those people need to leave this space forever. But the point being was this drawing out these boxes and using the Gematria Numerology and all these things, they're not going to ever be able to be 100% in line with direction. It's impossible to know direction. But the volatility and the big moves, that's what's so interesting about it. So I was telling everyone, never FOMO into the automatic rally. Never FOMO into the golden pocket. You wait till a daily closure above the golden pocket before you can go long. Okay, I was very, very adamant about that for oh my God, like over a month. So this was the buying opportunity. This was the buying opportunity. But more importantly, this was the buying opportunity. This huge range of extremely undervalued XRP. The one good thing I could say from a technical is look at my cursor and you see the previous golden pocket from back here. This was the first run up into the Flare Spark token airdrop. And this is the swing low into the SEC crash. And you can see where my cursor is aligns perfectly with the 786 of the previous Fibonacci range. That's technically a really good thing. And that was something I brought up in the past. You can backtest these levels, and the whales are going to have huge buy orders set here. So it doesn't, shock me that this rebounded. It pretty much happened to every single crypto yesterday. We even saw Ethereum at $1,700 yesterday. Like, Ethereum was $4,400 11 days ago, and yesterday it sold off down to $1,770. That is an insane move. Like, holy shit, the amount of people that sold their ETH. Anyways, this is something we need to wait out for. Again, anyone who's holding XRP, you need to be paying attention to the Bitcoin chart. Because if Bitcoin makes a volatile move to the upside, of course, XRP is going to follow that. If Bitcoin makes a volatile move to the downside, XRP is going to give up even more gains. The one thing, though, that's making me feel like this bull market's definitely not over, though, is the fact that XRP hasn't done anything this bull run. It's barely performed at all. And that I'm not saying to like throw shade at this coin, but I'm saying that because historically in bull runs, they end with a massive, massive straight line breakout for XRP. So this is a good thing, guys. XRP and having a insane run up at the end, very end of a bull run is actually something we look out for, and that hasn't happened yet. If anything, XRP is back testing previous levels. It's building support around this 80 cent range, and hopefully once it could reclaim this 236, which by the way, we would swing it down to here now. We're doing that live in this video. This is a huge trading range, by the way, 64 cents to $1.96. So if it could reclaim this 236 area again, you can see there's wicks down to this area, and that was the previous resistance before the breakout. So reclaiming the 236, extremely healthy, and I would still anticipate this to end the bull run. If we're going to enter a prolonged phase of reaccumulation, at least the 0.5 fib. So anyone who's looking to de-risk, you want to get out at the 130 cent and 146 cent and maybe as high as 157. That's your last chance in the event this rolls over and creates a prolonged bear phase. And again, maybe this 64 cents is the bottom, so it could do something like this, you know? And then we enter a phase that looks like this. And then it starts going apeshit, right? This is how it could go. And maybe that's the bottom right there at like 70 cents. That's technically what's possible. It doesn't matter what the SEC does or any of that shit. This is just the charts. This is how it works. So again, we all have second chances incoming, in my opinion, to de-risk ourselves out of this unless we, and just to keep safe in the event that economic turmoil happens and we enter a prolonged bear phase leading up into October. Again, a lot of people have a lot of money riding on this market, so you don't want to let these second chances go. You don't want to be diamond hands and then this enters a full-blown, consolidation range. I'm not saying that'll happen, but you don't go to like your grave saying I held XRP or Bitcoin the longest. You're not cool for holding longer than everyone. Okay? People have bills to pay and a family to feed. So if you got snuffed out of this market and you bought top, you have to be considerate of that. I know a lot of YouTubers out there probably don't want to tell people this kind of stuff, and I'm even hesitant to say it on a YouTube video, but it's because I got your back. It's because I care about the people who support me. So anyways, with that being said, this is a longer video, but I think it provided a lot of value to kick off this week. Again, 80% bullish on this dip, and I believe that this bull run is still going. 20% chances we make it up, fail, and break down for a prolonged bear market. Anything's possible in this matrix. Again, I have my sale on the Mastermind course for the end of the month. If anyone's interested on joining that, it's going to have tons of content for you to be able to educate yourself during these moves. And in the event that we do make that move of recovery, you're going to start to see why it all played out that way from the content in the course. The video lessons give full-blown descriptions, how to use the indicators, and how to be able to determine market structure. A lot of people in this market fail to study market structure, and that's why whenever these big volatile moves come, they're not prepared for it. And that's one of the number one things I focus on, is teaching people how to determine market structure, so you could pull up any chart on any crypto and be able to instantaneously figure out where you are in this investment. The whole point of technical analysis is not to be 100% right. It's to be able to know the possibilities of what's capable, and also to navigate where you are before you make a decision with your hard-earned money. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.